Redline Logbook here to talk about how everyone leveled up in Danmachi and if they're going to level up again by the end of the story. Quick recap on how you level up. Basically, what you have to do is you have to overcome something that should kill you. Basically, imagine each level is a barrier that you have to break that barrier to get to the next. It'll start making more sense when I start explaining how each person leveled up. First off, we have Bel. Bel only took him a month and a half to get from a level 1 to a level 2. The way he did this was at level 1, he defeated a Minotaur. A Minotaur is a level 2 monster, which means Bel single-handedly was able to overcome the gap in level. This is what allowed Bel to level up the first time. As for the second time he leveled up, coming from a level 2 to level 3, he did this when he defeated Hephaestus. He was the captain of the Apollo Familia, and he was a level 3 at the time. So once again, Bel was able to level up by defeating someone a level above him. This time it only took Bel a month, actually, to level up. Next is how Bel went from a level 3 to a level 4. Bel did this because he fought against Astraeus. Now, Bel lost to Astraeus, but he is a level 7 monster, and Bel was a level 3 at the time. Of course, Astraeus was missing an arm and gallons of blood after fighting Ais, but still, he was enough of a powerhouse that he was able to overwhelm Bel, and this allowed Bel to then level up again. Now, it does seem odd because, like I said, to level up, you have to overcome something that should have killed you, but that's what happened here. Like, this was a duel to the death. Astraeus' final attack was meant to kill Bel, he just happened to survive it. And then Astraeus was like, okay, well, I won this fight, and that makes us even now, so we'll have another duel, and that'll be our last fight. So yeah, Bel did survive what was supposed to kill him. And this would actually become the longest amount of time that it took Bel to level up. It took him 2 months. Yes, 2 months is slow for Bel. That's just absurd. And finally, how Bel became a level 5. He did this because he survived 3 days in the deep floors with Ryu on the verge of death the entire time. This actually did, in fact, qualify him to level up, but the thing is, it was literally 2 weeks after his fight with Astraeus, and Hestia was like, nope, I am not leveling you up again already, that would be ridiculous. I'm just gonna hold off. And she didn't level up to a level 5 until a month later, so it took Bel technically a month and a half to level up, and she only did that because of the war game. She had no choice at that point. As for will Bel level up again? Yes, of course he will. He will reach a level 6, so he'll be equal with Ais. That's Bel's original goal to begin with, so of course we're going to get there. Next up is Lily. Lily became a level 2 after the fight with the Asafina. The Asafina is a level 5 monster, but if you fight it in water, it has the potential of a level 6, which is exactly what happened to the Hestia Alliance. They had less than 10 members, and most of them were level 2s, and yet they were able to defeat a level 5 monster with level 6 potential at that moment. As a result, this allowed Lily, a level 1, to become a level 2. This took Lily at least 10 years to level up because she got her blessing around age 5 or 6, and she's currently 15, so yeah, it took her 10 years to level up, but once again, she's a supporter, so she doesn't really fight in the front line, so it makes sense it took her as long as she did. As for will she level up by the end of the story? Well, since the story has at most 5 months left, no, I don't think she has the ability to make it to level 3 within a 5-month period. Next up is Welf. Welf became a level 2 after surviving in the middle floors on the brink of death with Lily and Bel back during their first expedition into the middle floors. And while I guess he got some Excelia from killing the Black Goliath, the majority of that went to Ryu. All Welf did during that fight was stall the monster with his Krozo magic sword for a minute so Bel could charge his Argonaut. So the Goliath fight is actually not what allowed Welf to level up, it was surviving in the middle floors. And this took Welf roughly 8 years to level up. He was around 8 when he got his blessing, and he's currently 16. But just like Lily, he doesn't really fight very often. He was a blacksmith, so he didn't spend a lot of time in the dungeon. Now that he's a part of Bel's party and constantly there to support him, he's actually fighting a lot more and he's leveling up a lot faster than normal. Will he become a level 3 by the end of the story? There's a possibility, but I'm still going to say no, because he became a level 2 shortly after Bel became a level 2, which means, let's say Welf does level up right before the fight with the one-eyed black dragon. That would mean he went from a level 2 to level 3 in 10 months, and I don't see Welf going that fast, even if he is falling behind Bel. Next we got Mikoto. She became a level 2 around the same time Bel did, actually. They actually got their second names at the exact same time. Bel became Little Rookie, and she became Infinite Shadow. We do not know how she leveled up, but it most likely happened inside the middle floors because it's heavily implied that their familia had been in the middle floors multiple times at this point. She originally got her blessing when she was a child, so it took her about 7-8 years to level up. But the reason why it took her as long as it did is the simple fact that she spent most of her time training, And it wasn't until Takemikazuchi believed that his familia was ready did he bring them to Aurorio to actually start going into the dungeon. They've only been here for a few years, so most likely it took her 2 to 3 years to level up. Do I think she has the ability to level up again right before the fight with the One-Eyed Black Dragon? I would say yes, because she leveled up around the same time Belle did. That means by the time we get to the end of the story, a year would have passed, and she is constantly fighting alongside Belle, who is constantly running forward, going into more dangerous and dangerous situations, so she's getting plenty of excellent Excelia, so I think she has the potential to level up again before facing the dragon. Next up is Haruhime. Haruhime, just like Lily, became a level 2 after the fight with the Asafina. That's really all there is to it. It took her, I have no idea how long, because we do not know when Ishtar bought her. And most likely she will not level up again, because why would she? She never fights. Next up is Ryu. Ryu is currently a level 6. Now, we do not know how she became a level 2 or 3, unfortunately. But we do know it took her just over a year to become a level 2, and just over a year again to become a level 3. The reason for this is because she's consistently compared to Ais, because the two have a tendency to level up around the same time as each other, back when Ryu was still a part of the Freya Familia. As for her becoming a level 4, this once again took her just over a year to do so. This happened when her and the rest of the Freya Familia defeated Lefiya, a level 7, who was a former executive of the Hera Familia, who decided to join Evilist. After becoming a level 4, she did not become a level 5. Instead, she jumped all the way to level 6. And this technically took 7 years, but there's so many asterisks on that, so let's just get into it. 2 years after the Freya Familia defeated Asfi and leveled up, they were then wiped out by the Juggernaut, only leaving Ryu to survive. She then went on a bloody tirade, wiping out the remnants of Evilus. In shame of doing this, going on a bloody revenge instead of following justice, she basically separated herself from her goddess, and so she never got any updates to her status ever for the next 5 years straight. Unlike Belle, who is constantly getting updates every time he does something major or amazing, Ryu is stuck with the stats she had for the last 5 years. That's it. Which means she was basically working with weights on her body the entire time. So when she basically single-handedly held off the Black Goliath so Belle could charge his Argonaut, she did that without getting any updates. When her, Aisha, and Asfi 3v1 Asterius and got their asses rocked, she never got an update. When she fought Ais one-on-one for the sake of Belle, she got her ass kicked. No updates. Finally, when she survived in the deep floors with Belle, and then finally fought against the Juggernaut and killing it, she did all of that with no updates. Imagine being Rock Lee and fighting Gaara and never taking off the weights. That's basically what Ryu was doing this entire time. And because of that, when she finally got her status updated by her goddess Estrella, she immediately skipped level 5 and went straight to a level 6, being the first ever in the history of the gods to ever do that, to have a double level up. Do I think she's going to level up again by the end of the series? No. There's only 5 months left, and she just became a level 6. To becoming a level 7 is basically impossible. Okay, I'm going to do the Takemikazuchi Familia next. And we got 3, which is Oka, Chigusa, and Asuka. Oka was a level 2 before the start of the story, so we actually don't know how he leveled up or when it actually happened, which tells me he's probably going to level up again and become a level 3 by the end of the story, because that would mean it took him just over a year to do so, or maybe a little bit longer than a year. Once again, we don't know when he became a level 2. Chigusa became a level 2 somewhere between the Zeno arc and the Expedition. How she did this, we do not know. It most likely happened somewhere in the middle floors. The Takemikazuchi Familia was probably doing something, fighting something strong, and she leveled up. This means it took her roughly 10 years to level up. Do I think she'll level up again by the end of the story? I would say no, because I don't see her becoming a level 3 in like 6 months. That doesn't make sense. As for Asuka, she became a level 2 after the Great Faction War, where the Hestia Alliance took on the Freya Familia in the war game. Once again, this took her roughly 10 years to do so, and I don't think she's going to level up again because she literally just leveled up. There's no way it's going to happen by the end of the story. Next up is the Miach Familia. The Miach Familia's got 3 members that all are level 3. Naza, Daphne, and Cassandra. We do not know how any of them became level 2, unfortunately, because all 3 were level 2 by the time they were introduced to the story. Daphne and Cassandra leveled up first to level 3, though. This happened because of the fight with the Asafina. So just like Lily and Haruhime, these two got a level up as well. They went from 2 to 3. How many years it took them to level up, I do not know. But do I think they'll level up again to a level 4? I'll say no, because once again, that's 6 months. There's no way they're going to become level 3s in 6 months. As for Naza, she ended up leveling up a month after Cassandra and Daphne because of the Great Faction faction war. Yes, just like Asuka in Takemikazuchi Familia, Naza became a level 3 because of everything that happened in the war game with the Freya Familia. And I do not see her leveling up again by the end of the story because that would mean she would have done it in like 5 months. Next up is the Hermes Familia, which I'm going to skip. And if you're wondering why I'm skipping this, just watch my video on the Hermes Familia explain video and you'll understand why I don't want to explain how they level up. Anything I tell you will be half lies anyway. I will mention one of their members, and that is Aisha. Aisha became a level 4 within a 7-year period. We know this because during the 7 Days of Blood, she was only a level 1, which took place 7 years ago. So in that time period, she was able to level up. We do not know how she was able to level up at all at any point because that happened all off screen. In fact, Aisha was actually ready to level up and become a level 4 when she fought Belle. The only reason why she hadn't already leveled up at that point is because she was waiting for her stats to be high enough where she found it acceptable to level up, because your base stats still matter. Loki Familia. I'm only going to do the important characters, so starting with the 3 founding members, Finn, Garth, and Riveria. We do not know how they became a level 2, a level 3, a level 4, or a level 5. But we know this took about 20-year process because they were all level 5s 7 years ago. And then 7 years ago, they all became level 6s. How did they do this? Well, that would be the 7 Days of Blood, which was this massive plan that involved 4 members of the Zeus Familia, 4 members of the Hera Familia, and a level 7 monster summoned from the depths of the dungeon to wipe out Aurario, all put together and planned by the god Erebus. For a better explanation of that, I recommend watching my Evilus Explained video. But if you want specifically what allowed these 3 to get enough Exilia to level up, Garth and Riveria took on the monster that came from the deep floors. This was a level 7 snake dragon lizard that had the ability to regenerate. After these 2, with the help of Ais and the Estrella Familia, who all just leveled up after defeating Lefiya, this of course gave them the ability to level up. Finn was able to level up because he was commanding multiple armies against Evilus on top of the surface, and he also took out 4 spirit warriors, which were 5 level 3 adventurers of the Osiris Familia who were being juiced up by, well, basically a spirit that was trapped inside of them. It's a long story, go back and watch my Evilus video. And so by doing all of that, he then became a level 6. And then 7 years later, all 3 of them then became level 7s by defeating Ennio's ultimate plan to destroy the city with 7 different spirits. It's a long story, I don't have time to get into it. But basically, the 3 of them had to leave a massive war against 7 level 7 monsters, plus 2 level 7 creatures. It was a massive battle that basically involved everyone in Aurario. Next up is Ais. She became a level 2 at age 8, after only a year of having her fauna, making her the fastest to level up at that time. She did this because she defeated a black wyvern that was summoned because a god went into the dungeon, specifically Thanatos. The black wyvern was like any other monster sent to kill a god by the dungeon. It was a level above its original form, making it a level 3, and it had the ability to regenerate. At the time, Ais was able to hold it off with everything she had thanks to her skill Avenger, but once Riveria explained to her how to use her magic, that is when Ais was then able to rip this thing to shreds. Now, Ais most likely became a level 3 after only a year again at age 9. I say this because she's in Australia record, 10 years old, and she is a level 3 already. And her going from a level 1 to 2 within a year is her record. And that was a record that was held until Belle broke it, which means she most likely was just over a year when she became a level 2, and once again, just over a year when she became a level 3 at age 10. And then once more, it's heavily implied by Hermes that shortly a year later, she then became a level 4 at age 11. Unfortunately, we do not know how she became a level 3 or 4, nor do we know how she became a level 5, which she did at age 13, 2 years after she became a level 4. And we know this is because right before Ais took on Odeus, she was complaining that she hasn't leveled up in 3 years. She is currently 16. 16 minus 3 is 13, so she was 13 when she became a level 5. And then she took on Odeus at age 16 and became a level 6. Odeus is a floor boss in the deep floors, and he is a level 6 monster. Ais was a level 5. So as you can tell, overcoming the level gap, and this time she didn't use Revenger like she normally does, so this was a proper fair fight, well, unfair fight that allowed her to level up. Yeah, so Ais just constantly breaking records when she just levels up. Become a level 2 took her a year, to become a level 3, once again a year, level 4 a year, level 5, 2 years, and then a level 6, 3 years. And she does this right before Belle becomes a level 2. So there is a possibility that she is able to level up again to a level 7 before fighting the One-Eyed Black Dragon. But I don't think she will, because, like I said, it took Finn, Reveria, and Garth 7 years to make it to a level 7. So even if Ais is special compared to them, I find it hard to believe that she would be able to do it in a year. It would probably take her like 3 years, just like it took her to become a level 6. That would still be a miraculous thing, but there just isn't enough time in the story for her to do it. Okay, Tiona and Tione. These two constantly leveled up together. The first time they leveled up was back in their homeland, when they were basically fighting to the death over and over again against other Amazons. So as children, the Amazons are split up into different rooms, where basically you are forced to kill other girls from other rooms. Now, eventually, when it's clear that you're ready to level up, you're then forced to fight someone from your room, not another room. Someone that you grew up with, spent time with, made friends with. And so this trauma of killing someone that is important to you is what then allows you to level up. After leveling up once, they continue to fight in their homeland until eventually they decided they wanted to leave, joined other familias, continued as mercenaries until they made it to Aurorio, where they joined the Loki Familia. And from there, they continued to level up all the way to level 5. And unfortunately, we do not know how they became a level 3, 4, or 5. We just know the time frame was roughly 6 to 7 years to get all 3 of those levels. We do know how they became a level 6. They did this whenever they took on the Demi-Spirit in the deep floors with the rest of the executives of their familia. The Demi-Spirit was a level 7 monster, and the two of them were both level 5s. So with the combined effort of all of their executives, level 5s and level 6s, this allowed these two, and pretty much every other level 5, to level up to a level 6. They ended up leveling up right around the same time Belle leveled up to a level 2. Now, I would say this means they have a chance to become a level 7, because that would give them a year to do so. But unlike Ais, these two aren't special when it comes to leveling up. So no, I don't think either of them are going to become level 7s by the end of the story. Okay, we got Bete now. Bete, in his original Familia, was able to get to level 3. We do not know how he became a level 2 or a level 3. We just know he was 14 by the time he entered the Loki Familia as a level 3. Currently 22 and a level 6, which means it took him 7 years to get to level 4, 5, and 6. We don't know when or how he became a level 4 or 5, but we do know how he became a level 6. Just like Tiona and Tione, he defeated the Demi-Spirit with the rest of the executives. Next up is Lefiya. At age 8, she joined the school district, and after doing missions for the school district for 3 years, she became a level 2 at age 11. A year later, she joined the Loki Familia, and then a year after that, at age 13, she became a level 3. We do not know how she did this. And then 2 years after that, in the current story, she's 15, and she was able to level up to a level 4. What allowed her to qualify for a level up was defeating the Demi-Spirit. Now, she chose not to do this right away because as the future replacement of Reveria, as the main magic canon of Loki Familia, she wanted to make sure that her magic stat was S before she leveled up. Last two I'll talk about is Raul and Anakitty. We don't know how they became level 2s, but we do know how they became level 3s. During the 7 Days of Blood, in the Estrella novels, the two of them had an off-screen battle on the Bridge of Heroes against members of Evilus who were also level 2. Basically, 2 level 2s took on like 5 or 6 level 2s by themselves, and this battle to overcome numbers that are equal stats is what allowed them to reach level 3 together. We don't know how either of them became a level 4, but we do know how Anakitty was then able to become a level 5 during the same battle that led to Reveria, Finn, and Garth becoming level 7s. Anakitty became a level 5. The reason why she became a level 5 and Raul did not is for 2 reasons. One, she was the only level 4 at the time when she had to take on a Demi-Spirit, which is a level 7 monster, with a party of level 2s and 3s. This happened because half of her party, which include Bete, who was a level 6, and Lefiya, who was a level 4, were dropped into a booby trap set by Philvis, leaving Anakitty with only the scraps to fight with. And also, Raul wasn't sent to take on a Demi-Spirit, he was sent to rescue the members of the Demeter family that were kidnapped by Dionysus. Next up would be Hephaestus Familia. The only member who's worth mentioning would be their captain, Tsubaki, who is a level 5. Now, the way she leveled up is actually very simple. She likes to test her weapons. That's literally all there is to it. She would make something, and if she was satisfied with its construction, she would then test how durable it was, and she would just rush into the dungeon by herself and just keep fighting. And that just kept happening until she just became a level 5. Once again, she rushed to the dungeon by herself and became a level 5, which means she probably faced death multiple times just to test out her weapon. And for the final Familia that I'm going to be talking about, that would be Freya. The way the Freya Familia leveled up is actually very simplistic. What they basically do is just fight each other every day in the baptism, and then go into the dungeon to fight even more deadly monsters. That's how the vast majority of the Familia was able to level up. There's just a few exceptions that we have, including Otter. We do not know how Otter became a level 2 or 3, but we do know how he became a level 4, 5, 6, and 7. This happened because he took on and defeated members of the Zeus and Hera Familia. We don't know who most of these people were. We only know what the last one was that led to him becoming a level 7, and that was his fight against Zard during the 7 Days of Blood. Zard was a level 7, a weakened one at that, but still a level 7, and Otter was a level 6 at the time. After Otter was able to defeat Zard, he became a level 7. Now, this battle happened 7 years prior to the story, and the Zeus and Hera Familia were wiped out by the One-Eyed Black Dragon 15 years prior to the story. This is important because, like I said, Otter leveled up levels 4 through 7 by fighting members of the Zeus and Hera Familia. That means the last time he could have done it to become a level 6 was 15 years prior, before they were wiped out by the One-Eyed Black Dragon. That means Otter was a level 6 for 8 years before he finally was able to level up to a level 7. That is how hard it is to become a level 7. I mean, it took Finn and the others 7 years to level up to become a level 7. So yeah, this is a almost impossible thing to do. Next up is Alan. Like I said before, dungeon diving and the baptism is how he got most of his levels, but he became a level 6 during the 7 Days of Blood in that last battle when he basically held off all the monsters that were sent to kill Otter when he was in the middle of fighting Zard. And the way Alan did this was basically to push his body to the point where he was actually crying blood. Next up, the Gulliver brothers. They all became level 5s because they defeated a bunch of spirit warriors, which are a bunch of level 5 adventurers from the Osiris Familia who were modified with spirits to make them stronger. Makes sense. They're a bunch of level 4s. They fought a bunch of level 5s. They got stronger because of it. Henny and Hagni, same way, kept leveling up because of the baptism in the dungeon, but they became level 6s when they defeated the Dis Sisters, who were 2 members of Evilus, who are also level 5. So it was basically an equal fight between, well, a Dark Elf and a Light Elf versus another Dark Elf and a Light Elf. Now, normally, you wouldn't level up if you defeat an opponent who's an equal level with you, but because the Dis Sisters were stated to almost be level 6s in stat-wise, this is the reason why Hagni and Hagni's defeating them is what allowed them to level up to level 6. Now, there's 2 more major factions within Aurorio, the Hosts of Fertility and the Ganesha Familia, but we don't actually know the exact details of how or when they leveled up. We just know who they are and how they leveled up. For example, the Ganesha Familia, you have Shakti and 10 other level 5s. They leveled up because they went into the dungeon, and also they're the police of Aurorio, so they basically fought a bunch of stronger adventurers. And the Hosts of Fertility, the 3 main characters would be Mamma Mia herself, who's a level 6. We don't know how she got any of those levels. Lenore, Anya, and Chloe are all level 4. Anya was a member of the Freya Familia, so we know how she leveled up. Chloe was an assassin, so she leveled by killing people. And whenever she assassinated stronger than herself, she would level up. And Lenore was a bounty hunter, so whenever she beat down someone stronger than herself, she leveled up. That's basically how it went. Once again, we don't know who these people were or what time they did this, at what age. We just don't know. But yeah, I just explained all the major factions on how they leveled up and when they leveled up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, give a thumbs up so you can enjoy more Danmachi anime things. Thank you and have a great day.